everybody. Welcome back to our series, The Dirty Dozens. We are now in the sixth inning.
Oh, the sixth inning. The sixth inning is the keystone inning of any ball game. This is when you'd separate the haves from the have-nots. The sixth inning is the inning where you hit the home runs off of the second time or third time through on the pitcher. And we're in the sixth inning. I love it. Like and subscribe to our Star Power cast. Jen Trova, the baseball nerd, sitting up above me, right there, and down below here.
Again, I can't see his screen, so I don't.
I control the video. Cincinnati Dennis come from the Cincinnati Razorback room.
Yeah.
And we are in the middle of talking about the 108 greatest baseball players of all time.
Dude, I think we should start this one off with some controversy right off the bat. What number are we on?
We're on card number 48, player number 48, and it happens to be one of my favorite Star Power baseball cards to use. And I don't know a lot about this guy. His number 48 is a guy named Mule Suttles.
Yes, former Negro League great. If you go to Kansas City and happen to go into the Negro League Baseball Museum, get to meet some Bob Kendrick, he will be happy to tell you how great Mule Suttles is.
And I'm telling you, from everything that I'm reading and everything that I see, a guy that's a first baseman and a left fielder, which is like, a 6.4 WAR at those positions is pretty darn good.
Yeah. Now this guy's primo power hitter. I mean, he's one of those he's kind of a legendary status guy. But again, the more we see of him, man, like the 1926 seasons that he had with the St. Louis team, man, those are some awesome numbers. Not only this guy hit lots of home hits, not only did this guy hit a lot of home runs, he had a lot of triples, lots
and
of
doubles,
lots of walks. Like this guy is what you want as a first baseman. Super powerful dude. So like I think we put him up above like people like Jim Thome and Eddie Murray and Harmon Killebrew and Willie McCovey. Like this guy beat those dudes out. That's how highly we think of Mule Suttles.
I go through, excuse me, I go through seasons on the cards, and I make these Star Power baseball cards, all-star teams. And Mule Suttles, pretty much every year he played, he's an all-star. This guy is amazing. A 1.027 OPS, lifetime career. That's Babe Ruth numbers.
Yeah.
This guy's amazing. Card number 48, player number 48.
Another one from the Negro Leagues. We got one of the best.
Card number 47.
One of the best, 47, one of the best players of all time, Buck Leonard.
And we have more than reputation to go on with this guy. This guy actually put up numbers.
Yeah, this guy does have numbers to look at. And
this guy has numbers.
Yeah.
You got a first baseman with 7.7 WAR. A first baseman at 7.7.
Yeah, and the story with Buck Leonard is some people said, hey, he's the black Lou Gehrig, but other ones would say, no, Lou Gehrig is the white
Buck Leonard.
Yes.
A power hitter extraordinaire, lots of home runs, doubles, and triples, and played first base and played for one team.
Yeah.
He played for the Homestead Grays. That was his team.
There we go. That's our first two out of the gate, man. And here's number 3. We're putting
card number 46, player number 46, another Negro leaguer.
Well, for a little bit. Now, this one we put ahead of Yogi Berra.
Yes, we did.
We put this guy ahead of Yogi. Why did we do that again? Why did we do that? We're talking about Roy Campanella.
Now, one of the things that helps Campanella is those seasons in the Negro Leagues that jump his stats. They actually help him.
That did, yeah, because they just recently, 2 years ago or so, decided to make those official major league stats, and so he went from like a 276 hitter to 283 hitter because of those.
And he went from over 20 home run average at bat to 19.4.
Yeah, so Campanella definitely he came up as a 15-year-old in the Negro Leagues, guys.
Right,
and he was an all-star in the Negro Leagues as a 19-year-old kid.
That's right. With the Kansas City Monarchs, right?
No, he was with who's BEG?
Elite Giants.
Elite Giants. Okay.
Buffalo, I believe. But
Baltimore.
anyway,
Baltimore.
Baltimore. Let me tell you this about Campanella. When the Dodgers moved to Los Angeles in 1958, they're playing in the Coliseum. If you guys know anything about the Coliseum, 255 feet the right field line. It's just a crazy, stupid ballpark. They got a 100 plus thousand fans on the night that they had the benefit for Roy Campanella.
Yeah.
Because he was just that. People loved this guy. He was that guy.
3-time MVP. If you want a single season catcher card, the 1953 Roy Campanella card's the card to have. Over 1,000 OPS guy for a catcher in that season.
Yeah, that's nuts. And could throw you out in a heartbeat. He's one of the C55s, great blocking the plate and an arm like a cannon. Yeah. What did he average? Like 50% throwing out, I believe.
Probably.
I think he was 50%. We go to number 45. Now we're getting into some people that
57% is the highest of all time for Roy Campanella.
There he is, 57%. Yeah, he leads them all. Best defense, one of the greatest defensive catching with a pillow, not a flex mitt, a pillow. Yeah. Now we go to player number 45.
These next two cards, guys, is some more controversy going on here. Here we go. All right. Number 55.
Number 45.
45 just retired last season.
Here. Yes, he did.
Los Angeles Dodgers great Clayton Kershaw.
You and I had to talk about this one.
Yeah.
When this one happened, you and I talked about this, and we disagreed, and finally we went to just kind of basically flipped a coin. But Clayton Kershaw, in the last 20 years, has put up numbers that nobody else touches.
He's definitely the highest ranked starting pitcher that we have.
Yes.
That is a modern day player. That is a today.
1.02 whip. How about that?
Yeah.
9.6 strikeouts per 9. 204 league batting average against.
If you want to question Clayton Kershaw's dominance, just look from 2011 to 2017. He was the best pitcher, period.
Without a doubt. I think he was pitcher Cy Young MVP too, wasn't he?
In the 2014 season, yeah.
He did win them both. He was the like we talked about Verlander.
So he won 3 Cy Youngs, but he also finished second twice, and in another 2 times in the top 5 2 more times.
Clayton Kershaw, he did finally win his World Series game, so that kind of puts him a little bit above Tom Seaver.
He finally, we put Kershaw above Seaver, I know, but man, I think Kershaw's peak was. Man, it's right there with Seaver. I know. I think people may be like, "You put Kershaw above Seaver?" It's like, yeah,
but you got to think that during Kershaw's era, the complete game is no longer in existence.
But he also has 3 or 4 other pitchers that are kind of his trying to be his equal, like Verlander, Scherzer, Zach Greinke's in that mix, Madison Bumgarner's in that mix, Tim Lincecum was in there for a bit.
But he's better than they are.
He is better than they are. I'm saying, like, Kershaw had some fierce competition. Jake Peavy was around for a bit.
Yeah.
But Kershaw, I think, was the best pitcher out of that generation.
And out of our top 108, he comes in at 45. By the way, you can like and subscribe us if you want. If you subscribe, leave comments, and we'll mention you on one of our future podcasts. Kershaw comes in at 45. But right above him, and here's where we had the controversy.
I think we're doing crowd. Whoa! Hello.
Yeah, you're squawking on me, but you'll calm down. There you go.
We decided to put Sandy Koufax ahead of Clayton Kershaw.
It was tough. That was a tough decision.
I wouldn't do it. I would still put Kershaw ahead of Koufax.
Kershaw's got a lower ERA. Kershaw's got a lower WHIP. Kershaw's got a higher strikeout per 9. Kershaw got Koufax has a lower batting average against.
Yeah. But Koufax from 1962 to 1966, I don't think anybody, with the exception of one other person, Pedro Martinez, had that dominant of a 5-year period.
The one thing about Koufax that put him on the map was the 1963 World Series, where he had the 15 strikeout game and he beat the Yankees in game 1 and game 4, and they swept the Yankees that year with the Dodgers, and the Dodgers couldn't beat the Yankees. They just couldn't beat the Yankees. They beat them 1 time out of 8, I believe, before that when they were in Brooklyn, and then they get them in Los Angeles and sweep them, and Koufax is the hero.
Yeah.
The average score for the Dodgers during that time was like 2-1 because they had Koufax and Drysdale and Osteen. And Koufax was the one that carried the team. And he's got the greatest nickname of all nicknames of any sport, anytime. He is the left arm of God.
That's so good. But here's one thing. I'm going to put a little bit of negative spin on Koufax. From 1955 to 1960, he had an ERA plus of 100, which is completely average. His whip was 1.43, which is not very good, folks.
No,
his
terrible.
K per 9 was 8.9, which is high, but his walk per 9 was 5.3. So the first 6 seasons of his career, Koufax was not a good pitcher. He was average to below average.
Let me justify that. In 1955, they paid him over $5,000 as a signing bonus. Because of that, they could not cut him. He was called a bonus baby, and he had to play with the big league team. They couldn't cut him. They couldn't release him because they paid him over $5,000. Coming out of where? Out of the University of Cincinnati.
I mean, this guy is a
Where
clear,
he was an all-conference basketball player,
clear-cut example of just a guy that
learned how to pitch.
He learned how to pitch.
One quick story about Koufax, and then we'll move on to the next guy. Koufax said, "I became a great pitcher when I quit trying to strike people out."
And then he just struck a ton of people out.
He struck a ton of people out. He was the one that broke Rube Waddell's strikeout record.
Yeah.
What did he get? 383 one year?
382.
382.
Yeah.
We're moving on to player number 43, one of my all-time favorite. Read about this guy. Oh, I like this guy so much. They call him the greatest center fielder that ever played. Gold standard for fielding, Tris Speaker.
They call him the greatest center fielder, but he's not our top center fielder.
No, he's not. But he's the one they said that he threw guys out at first base on ground balls. He played so shallow in center field that he would throw guys out at first base.
Yeah. I think this guy was a Ty Cobb equal. I mean, Cobb he edges him out and everything, but I think the one standout thing about Tris Speaker is the doubles total. So he has 792, the most of all time for doubles. Yes. He has 222 triples, over 100 home runs. Come on, guys, this is the power hitter of the tens, and he played from 1907 to 1928. Right?
Yes.
And for 4 teams, the Red Sox, the Cleveland as then Indians, the Washington Senators, and the Philadelphia Athletics.
And won World Series with the Red Sox and the Indians in 1920. One of the great nicknames here, too, the Silver Eagle. Love Tris Speaker. I read about him.
He's not the Silver Eagle. He's the Gray Eagle.
The Gray. The thing about Tris Speaker is Ty Cobb's book called The Tiger Wore Spikes, which is like a Bible in my house. Ty Cobb said the greatest player that ever played was Tris Speaker.
Yeah.
And that included himself, because Ty Cobb was not one not to talk about himself. We're going to move on to player number 42 right now. And here's where we're going to start it up, boys. Here it comes.
I feel like we're saying that through every person now.
Okay. We're doing it because nobody's going to agree with any of these. Player number 42 plays for the California Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim. Are they called? Who are those? What is that team called?
I don't like I think they're the Los Angeles Angels right now.
Los Angeles Angels. Mike Trout.
Mike Trout, who, if it wasn't for the past 7 years, probably would have been higher than number 45.
He's the last 7 years. Like, did you hear what you
number?
said?
What number is he?
We're at 42.
42. We put him at 42. Like I think
4-time MVP.
I think for Trout, this is about right here. Just because of this slide that he's had, he's clearly not what he used to be. But man, if you want to analyze a player that had the dominant decade, Trout dominated the 2010s. He was the best player of the 2010s, without a doubt, the best player of the 2010s.
And one of the most iconic moments in baseball history happened 3 years ago when Mike Trout was the batter and Shohei Ohtani was the pitcher and they were on the same team and playing against each other in the World Baseball Classic in the bottom of the ninth inning. And Trout comes up as the potential winning run with a runner on first, and Shohei strikes him out. One of the greatest moments in baseball history.
So,
I love watching.
yeah, Trout starts my trilogy of players that are the epic sadness of what is the Angels. So, the last decade and a half or so with the Angels, and he's player number one. I'll get to the rest of them when we get to him. He's player number one of a trilogy of players. That he's one of the greatest players of all time to never win a championship with that particular team.
One time in the playoffs, and he stunk.
Well, I mean, they only played 3 games. Didn't really have a chance.
Yeah. Okay. So we go to player number double deuce, number 20, or excuse me, number 41.
Oh, by the way, Mike Trout, 8.5 WAR per season. Number 41. This guy has one of the coolest batting stances ever.
And I do have it on the card. The batting
so
stance is in the card.
I recently started playing this app game called 162 and 0. Have you heard of this?
No.
So it's an app, and you're trying to build a team that goes 162 and 0, and you get randomized a decade and a team every round that you play, and you get to pick dudes. And Mel Ott is always a guy that I always pick, because you can slip him in at third base because they use him at all the positions that they actually play. It doesn't matter how many games, but Mel Ott, I think, is one of those unsung guys that a lot of the young people just don't know about. And all us old ones are just like, you don't know about Mel Ott? Dude, this is like what, a 6-time home run leader champion, was one of the premier guys that was able to draw walks. Not a very big guy.
No.
Very
small,
5'9", 107. Like 170 is pretty decent weight for back then. But like, still, he's not the biggest of dudes. He just knew how to hit a baseball.
And here's your other thing about Mel Ott. In the 1960s, even through the 1970s, the number 500, when you talked about home runs, was revered. And for the longest time, there was 11 guys, and you always mentioned Mel Ott. He was there. He was one of the guys that hit 500 home runs, and that was a revered number. Today, we look at 500 home runs as like a milestone. It's going to be when there's 30 guys in the 500 home run club. But for the longest time, there weren't, and Mel Ott was one of those guys.
Yeah.
And he's got a great name too, Mel Ott. What a great name.
Yeah.
All right. We go to player number 40.
This is another guy that I don't think people value enough. Like, honestly, I think this guy could be higher, but I'm happy with what he is. Our number 40 player played for the Braves most of his career, particularly in Milwaukee. And this is one of the best third basemen of all time, Eddie Matthews.
All right. I want you to look something up while you're on the site. I'm going to say something, and I want you to either deny it or say it's true. He's the only player that played for the Boston, Milwaukee, and Atlanta Braves.
He did do those 3, yes.
He's the only one that ever did that. He is a 500-plus home run guy, played for 17 seasons, and won the World Series in 1957. Tremendous, tremendous third baseman. And the Matthews-Aaron 1-2 punch was there in the Milwaukee era for 2 years that just carried them to the title.
Yeah, 57, 58 went to back-to-back World Series. Matthews and Aaron are just one of the best dynamic duos to ever be on a baseball field.
You know, one of my favorite things about Eddie Matthews, after he retired, he bought a beer distributorship. What a great guy, man.
6.5 average WAR
at third base. What a great ball player.
Yeah.
Ed Matthews, and on the card, he's Eddie Matthews. Card number 40, we go to now the number 39 card.
This is our first two-way player.
And maybe one of the top two-way players to ever play the game. He's in the top 40. Here we go. Not a lot known about him. He played for the Kansas City Monarchs. I think he did it his whole career. Did he not?
Yeah.
His guy's name is Joe Bullet Rogan.
Bullet Rogan.
And I don't think his first name's Joe, but that's the guy
I
doing
don't think it's Joe.
that's the guy doing the
I
podcast.
don't know where you got
I,
it from.
I threw that in there because Joe Rogan does the podcast, and if Joe Rogan, that way we can tag him in this too. So.
Yeah.
No. But Bullet Rogan, Gentry and I had a serious conversation here of this guy being this high up. And I kind of said that as I'm making the All-Star teams, I'm doing a lot of research on these Negro League players. And Bullet Rogan in the 20s and 30s, mainly the 1920s, was the best pitcher and the best center fielder in the Negro League.
Yeah.
The best of both. He's a starting pitcher +4.
I don't know if he's the best center fielder. I mean, there's a couple guys that can probably be better as center fielder, but
he's a 2 respin center fielder.
You also have Oscar Charleston and Turkey Stearns and
yeah, we do.
Chris Torienti. So yeah.
But Bullet Rogan is this guy. He runs a 44 speed. He's a 21-point center fielder, and he's a 17-point pitcher. Yeah, 17 points, and it comes out to do the math there. I think that comes out to 38 points star power.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Yeah, and well, he's a two-way player, and there's not a lot of great two-way players, but he's really a great two-way player. And when you buy his card in Star Power Baseball, and I'm not talking about paying money, I'm talking about points. You get him for 25 points.
No, he's the card of the 1920s decade set. Yeah,
without a doubt. Yes.
Yeah.
And the card looks good too. It's a good looking card. We move down to next one up, and this is one of your favorite guys when you were a kid.
Absolutely.
Definitely one of your favorite players as a kid. And I'll tell you what, Dennis loves talking about this guy.
Jen Trovo loves talking about this guy too. Jen Trovo thinks this guy is the best leadoff hitter of all time. Jen Trovo thinks that he's the most prolific stolen base guy of all time.
And if you don't know who we're talking about right now, we're talking about Rickey Henderson. Yeah. Coming in at player number 38 in the Dirty Dozen.
Lifetime leader of runs, stolen bases, and caught stealings. But come on, guys, like you got to put Rickey up there. If you don't have Rickey in your top 50, that's just, I don't know what to say to you.
The greatest leadoff hitter of all time and played forever, man. He was a 4-decade player.
Yeah.
Just tremendous.
He's a guy that stuck around and actually played at a high quality for his entire career.
He did.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I loved it where he ripped up third base, said, I'm the greatest of all time, because he was best base stealer ever. And I want to say that he is over 500 stolen bases ahead of the next guy.
Yeah. I don't think he's ever going to get caught.
I mean, still
not to be like
bad pun, good pun. Yeah. How many times did Rickey go over 100 on stolen bases?
Oh, yikes. I don't know. Let's go. Was 1, 2, 3, 3.
3 times over 100 steals.
Yeah, 80. He had 1, 2, 3 times with 80 plus, and then he had a couple times with 70s and 60s. He averages 74 a year on a 162 game season.
Guy is just unbelievable and fun to watch too.
It's basically, here's the thing, like Rickey Henderson averages 74 steals, gets caught 18 times a year, so that's what, 92 attempts he tries to go for every year.
Yes.
So let's just bump that to 100. Let's say that Rickey Henderson tries to steal a base 100 times a year, right? Rickey Henderson gets on base almost 700 times a year.
No.
Yeah, his at-bats plus walks. So 570 plus...
At-bats plus what? That's plate appearances.
Plate appearances, 700 times a year he gets on base.
No, he gets to bat. He gets on base.
Okay, that's what I meant. He goes to the plate 700 times. Yeah. He gets on base 160 plus 115, so 270. He gets on base 270 times a year. And
he steals 80 bases.
And yeah, so half the time Rickey's running, pretty much.
That's it. And Rickey is Rickey.
Yeah.
The greatest base stealer. And I have to just give it to him. He's the greatest leadoff hitter of all time.
Yeah.
No doubt about it. No doubt about it. Which leads us to the final player in this inning, which is the 6th inning of the Dirty Dozens. The final player, and this is a great way to end this one right here. is what most people consider the greatest catcher of all time in the modern baseball era. Played for the Big Red Machine, MVP 1970 and 1972. Memorable home runs throughout his career, Johnny Bench.
I think he's the greatest catcher of all time.
In the Major League Baseball, I think he's right there. To me, what a hero. I have two pieces of autographed memorabilia in my home. Both, and they're baseballs. One baseball that I have was autographed by somebody that was in, I want to say, the fourth inning. That was Nolan Ryan. I have his autographed baseball. And the other one is Johnny Bench. And they're prized possessions.
So he's kind of like a revolutionary type of player where he became this superstar at this position where he was the guy for a decade, right? There were other catchers that were there with him. Carlton Fisk, Thurman Munson. What's the guy from the Cubs that
Terry Carter,
Dr. Bob likes? Randy Hundley.
Hundley.
Because Hundley's the guy that Dr. Bob says that Hundley was the one that did behind the back first before Johnny Bench.
And you can do that all you want, but Johnny Bench is the guy that led the league in RBIs. Johnny Bench is the catcher that led the league in home runs. Johnny Bench is the guy that won 2 World Series. Johnny Bench is the guy. That's all you got to say. Johnny Bench is the guy.
Yeah.
What a great catcher he was. He now has a TV show out where he shows his family. Been married quite a few times, but that's Johnny Bench. I mean, you know what? Johnny Bench had a commercial for Krylon paint. And he said, "This is what I used to paint Johnny Bench's bench." It was fantastic.
I think my favorite Johnny Bench commercial is where he had, because he can hold a whole bunch of baseballs in his hand.
Yeah.
But there was one where I can't remember what the object was, but he's just sitting around there and somebody's like, "Hey, look what I can do." And like Bench just holds up his hand and he's holding like
5 bottles of beer or something like
donuts or something. I
Yeah,
can't remember
something
what
like
it was. Yeah.
I ate in a restaurant in Cincinnati with a friend of mine named John Brown as we drove to Cincinnati. And I think the year was 1976 or 75. And we drove to Cincinnati, Ohio, and we ate at a place called Johnny Bench's Home Plate. One of the most memorable experiences of my day was eating at Johnny Bench's Home Plate in Cincinnati. That's going to wrap up this episode of the Dirty Dozens. Just to recap, we went from Mule Settles all the way to Johnny Bench, and that was the 6th inning. We got 3 innings to go, and that's going to take us down to the final 36 or 3 dozen. Like and subscribe to this channel. Check out our Facebook page on Star Power Baseball at Facebook. I'm Cincinnati Dennis. He's
Jin Chova, the baseball nerd.
And we'll see you next time on the Dirty Dozens.